TFNN. Trade what you see with Larry Pesavento. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. Now, Larry Pesavento.
Okay, looking good. Billy Ray, feeling good, Lewis. Unfortunately, we start out the day with a little technical problem. I'm having some computer problems here, and I was in the den, and then all of a sudden, I'm not in the den. I'm trying to get back in right now. Hopefully, everything will be okay, and then I'll post a few charts. We'll start out with the German DAX, which has been going straight up. And also we'll be able to look at the FTSE, which has also had a very strong rally. And I'm sad to say that it looks like we'll not have Mr. Tom Hugard as our guest anymore because the market has made a higher high today than June 28th. So we can't call him Mr. Tommy June 28th anymore. I told him sometime in the next decade, if he has another call, we might be able to work him in. Of course, I'm doing this in tongue-in-cheek, as you can imagine. Our guest today will be none other than Mr. Larry Williams. He doesn't need any introduction. He'll be talking to us about some cryptos, and he'll also be talking. Oh, shut the front door. Now what's the problem? Something's wrong here. There we go. Let's see if we're in there now. 10-4 rubber duck. Let's check and see if this German DAX passes. There we go. Hey, I think we're ready now. Is up and we up and running? Everything is good. Give me a 10-4 on that. All right, the chart posted and everything, so we're okay. That was the German DAX, and now we want to do the want to do the German DAX next. We'll get the next one up here, and we'll be able to see it. We've got a lot of stuff to cover today. One of the things that I wanted to mention today is Mr. Z was in our room this morning talking about the fact that Mr. Silver had made a very, very important low today. And whether it's going to hold or not, I don't know. But the thing is that gold did make a new low. We went below the old 1761 level. We got down to 1750. We've now rallied $14 off of that low. And you can see here on silver, silver had the matching low back on the 19th that we had today. Now that's not easy to do, folks. There's a lot of support coming into that silver market when you see something like that. If that would have made a lower low by a penny, I probably would have been a buyer, but my alert never went off, so I missed it. Of course, Mr. Z doesn't miss much, and he was able to take a look at it. But we've rallied 30 cents off of that bottom, which is not not easy to do in that kind of market because it does jump around quite a bit. Now, Larry's going to be talking to us about gold. He's also going to be talking about the cryptocurrencies and a few other things. Hopefully, if you have any questions, we'll be able to ask him some questions of where do we start. He's been between the two of us. I think we've got 115 years experience in the market, but he's certainly been an important part of my life. I learned a lot of stuff from that dude over the years. Now, speaking of learning something, let's take a look here at Tesla, folks. If you remember here, we talked about how the market reacts to the news. If you remember here, we had that 61% retracement there. And this is really important, folks, because market feedback is as important as any of these patterns or ratios or anything that we look at. I mean, it really is. And if you notice here that we went right up to the 61% retracement 3 days in a row. And yesterday we had the day where they recalled all of the Teslas in China. I mean, you're not talking about a few cars. You're talking about a lot of cars that had to be fixed for braking or whatever it was. But the market actually opened lower and then closed right on the high. I mean, that is market feedback that something's not right. The market should have been lower. I mean, it's got very bad news and the market's reacting good to it. You don't want to stand in for anything like that. And guess what, boys and girls? You're going to find out the reason behind it in just a moment, as soon as I can get this little puppy up here, and you'll be able to see why you don't want to fool around with something like that. And we'll get it up here and you'll see. And there you see it, folks. Once it took off, it was on, it just kept gapping and gapping and gapping. And this is what we're looking at here in the Tesla. So it's been a big move here. Whether it continues up or not, we'll have to wait and see. But remind yourself that whenever you see market feedback that tells you it's different than what the market's trying to tell you, it's important. And the reason why is, folks, they can give you misinformation, they can hide from you, they can cheat you, they can give you fake news, all kinds of things. But the one thing they can't do is hide from you. If prices are going up, there's more buyers. If prices are going down, there's more sellers. That's what you really need to know. Now, this market has been basically a one-way corrigan for, well, actually since March 9th of 2009, but especially, since May 23rd of last year when we had the COVID, and that's when Larry Williams came out with his trade, what he called it, his last stand trade or whatever it was. I don't remember what he called it, but he said, this is it. He said it either goes down forever, it stops going down today, and that was the low in the market. Larry's got some interesting charts here, especially on gold and Bitcoin that we'll be talking about, and I've got a few questions that I want to ask him, of course, and we'll be doing that when we have him on the line. The euro, folks, we've been looking at the euro for quite some time now. We're getting very, very close to that level that we want to be a buyer of, and that's down into that area. Oh, let's get this up here to take a look at it. Sell Gartley in what, Marshall? Oh, I don't understand, Marshall. What is the sell Gartley in, my friend? I don't. In Tesla? Yeah, not with all those gaps. With all those gaps and all that news, I can't fade that news, Marshall. I don't trade that. I don't trade Tesla. Even if, let's say, it was live hogs, and I had really bearish news on live hogs and they didn't go down, I'm not going to fade that, because the smarter money than me is out there with large numbers of contracts, and I don't trade large numbers of contracts. Used to many years ago, but not anymore. But that's why I don't do that. I'm looking for the lift. We got a mountain lion here in our neighborhood. He comes around here every 2 or 3 days. He weighs about 250 pounds. He runs across my roof, and this thing takes off like he's a gazelle. You should see how he jumps. I mean, it's just unbelievable. But he's running around. You know what? He's not looking for a human to go after. He's looking for a little tiny dog or cat. He wants to go after the smaller animal. That's how these people how these animals survive. They go after the weakers. They get the sick ones or the ones that are damaged, the old ones, whatever. But that's what you want to go after a market that's not going straight up, or that's in very, very strong. Find one that's a little bit weak. We saw that in the Dow Jones yesterday. When we had the Dow Jones was down. Of course, the Dow Jones came back and made some pretty strong moves here. But yesterday, the Dow Jones was telling you that it was doing something a little, it's not acting as good. Now today it was acting better. The Russell today, perfect example. It was not acting very bullish all day, even when the NASDAQ made new highs and the S&P hit 4,300. Neither one of those was telling you that the Russell was not acting as strong. So that's the one that you want to be going for. So let's remind ourselves of that. 877-927-6648.
Markets can rise and fall like the tides. Subscribe to Basil Chapman's newsletter, The Opening Call, and you too can ride the wave. Basil Chapman is an authority in technical analysis. His Chapman Wave trading system has been helping traders identify trends and capitalize on momentum in the markets since 1984. TFNN invites you to test Basil's proprietary Chapman Wave trading methodology with a monthly subscription to the Opening Call newsletter for only $149. Your subscription to the Opening Call comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee, as well as daily market updates on key indexes, stocks, and commodities. Ride the wave. Sign up for the Opening Call risk-free today.
What's separating you from the most successful men and women on Wall Street? That's right, information. Having all the information gives us the perspective we need to place the right trades at the right time. The TAS Profile Scanner is the premier market profile-based scanner. Powered by its acclaimed TAS proprietary algorithms, this feature-rich scanner instantly filters over 2,500 plus global financial markets, such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. This powerful suite of tools leverages instant trade filtering and strategy formulation to show you emerging trades before they happen. For a limited time, you can save $100 off your first month by using the promo code UPGRADE. And you still get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Level the playing field with the TAS Profile Scanner, which you can find under the Services tab at TFNN.com. Sign up today.
Hey there, I'm Andy Arbertine with Tiger Precious Metals and Stones. Whether you're looking to buy and sell precious metals or trying to find the perfect diamond ring, I'm here to help. I have over 15 years of experience with diamonds and precious metals. You can call me directly at 727-329-8245, and I will personally answer any questions you have and help you find exactly what you're looking for. I will be your personal concierge in the metal and stone business. Give me a call today, 727-329-8245.
Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Okay, folks, I posted the chart of the daily chart of gold. And basically what I'm trying to do here is to point out the fact that we are waiting for the 78% level to be hit, that 1726. Now, you notice we had the weak 3-day, it was actually a 4-day rally that got up to 1796. The market broke $50 since that point, actually exactly $46, down to 1750 today. But we're still waiting for 1726. That's a 78% retracement. And I think that we might get there. We watched the action in silver today. I don't let that affect me because I'm looking at each one of these separately. And so right now I'm just watching to see if the gold is going to get down there. I've got to get a little bit more time. I know the seasonals on it are getting pretty close, so we'll be watching that one very, very closely, of course. Now, I also wanted to mention the fact about the open interest. I'm going to stop talking about it because so many people are asking me questions that I can't answer. I just look at the CME chart, the site, and I check and see how many contracts, either up or down on those days. That tells me how many new buyers are coming in. Yesterday we had that huge move in the stock market, and yet there was virtually no increase in the open interest in the E-mini S&P. And so that's not healthy because there's no new buyers coming into the market. In fact, in the NASDAQ, I believe it actually had a negative day. I'm thinking doing that from memory, but as I recall, it's a little bit, but it's different this time, folks. The whole world is bullish. The Federal Reserve has got your back. There's no chance in Hades that this market could ever go down. And for that reason alone, I'd be careful. So let's keep that in mind because markets do not always go in one direction. They're going in one direction right now, but they don't always do that. And we've seen that before in a lot of different things that we've looked at here, especially, recently in live hogs and lumber. Do you realize lumber, folks, at 1,700, we had that big break and we've made the ABCD pattern down there just below $800 board foot in the lumber. We dropped 900 It just dropped in half is what it did, 1,700 to just under 800, and that is in half. That's a 50%. It didn't take very long. It only took about a little over 6 weeks to do that. So these markets can be very, very treacherous. They're not treacherous in stocks yet, but that doesn't mean that they can't be, because there's a lot of young people out there that have not, just like we had back in the dot-com bubble, they didn't realize that these markets can have vacuums under the market and can make pretty significant moves to the downside here. Oh, do we have Larry on the line now? Larry, are you there?
Hi, buddy. Yes, I am, Larry.
Hey, it's fabulous. I'm glad you're on. Let's just start out right now. Larry, I was getting ready to tell the folks back in 1977 when I was a broker at Drexel Burnham, I went to Vegas to listen to you talk about the probabilities of runs in the market. And you started the program with a statement that there was only one 100% trade that always worked, and that was the calculator trade. And that's if you ever reach for the calculator to calculate how much money you're making, get on the phone first and get out, because that is your greed index hitting 100%. I don't know if you remember that or not, but I certainly never did forget it.
Well, I unfortunately forgot it from time to time to my expense. But I mean, when your emotions get carried away with you, your emotions going to do the wrong thing as a trader.
Where are you? You're back in the States right now? Are you?
I'm in Red Lodge, Montana.
Mm-hmm. Now you're originally from Montana, aren't you?
I am, right.
Yeah, that's correct. Okay. Listen, what have you got for us today, my friend? I've got some charts up here that I wanted to let everybody see them here, so we'll be able to take a quick look at them. And hold on one second, and I'll be ready. I think the first one is, of course, in Bitcoin, and that's everyone has an interest in that. Unfortunately, Larry, I am not the greatest technician as far as grabbing this stuff and getting it up here. We got it ready now. Hold on one second. Here we go. Here it is. This is the one on Bitcoin with over on balance volume. You're going to be talking to us about that. Let me get this up here.
Yeah, Larry, I think it's interesting. This is an old tool. As you know, this tool is older than you and I combined. And we've been both around a long, long time, longer than most people in the markets. Yet we still see the same thing, really massive distribution in Bitcoin. When price makes new highs, and you see the red line on price and the blue line, which is the cumulative flow of volume, doesn't make a new high. You can't attract buying volume in those rallies. And again, just before the precipitous decline started in April, we see the same thing. So clearly there's been some massive distribution in this stock. And an old technique, an old tool, worked really well. So these tools, none of them are perfect, but they can sure give us an insight into the market. That's the first point. There's another chart of long-term chart of Bitcoin. Years ago, my buddy Tom DeMark and I came up with a pattern in the market we call sequential. And you'll see those 13s as just part of the sequential pattern. They usually occur at significant market tops, and while again it nailed a significant top in Bitcoin. So I think that the Bitcoin mania is behind us. That this market has been broken badly, and it's not going to come back in a hurry.
Okay. Now, do you have a feeling, Larry, about the blockchains or cryptocurrencies that long term they might be around, or is this just one of these tulip bulbs that's lasted a lot longer than normal?
I'm on the tulip bulb side. I don't understand it. I don't understand why anybody would invest in this stuff. But it does trade technically well. It's a very emotional market. But if you think this market has a future, technical stuff works real well here, as you can see. But in terms of long-range prospect, I just can't imagine the Federal Reserve, which is massive, is going to allow some currency, an alternative currency to the U.S. dollar. I just can't. I can't imagine that. But then, I'm almost 80 years old, and so I don't understand some of this stuff. I could be dead wrong. I missed a huge move in the upside in it.
Have you ever traded it?
Never traded.
I never have either. So I watch it because people ask me about it. It trades well technically, that's for sure. I mean, it makes all kinds of just some beautiful trades.
I like to believe in things that I trade. I like to understand them. I really don't understand it. In part because, like you, we've been trading gold and silver and IBM, for 60 years. So do I really want to add something new to my game? No, I got a pretty good game going, so I'm not going to try to muck it up with something I don't know much about.
I feel the same. People ask me questions about it, and I know so little about it. It's been very. Now, the next one we're going to talk about is everybody's going to give you a standing ovation on this one, and that is the gold market, because about 2 months ago you talked about the seasonality of gold cresting, and that was when it was around $1,900. And here we are, $1,760 right now. So that's been a huge break. And what's your feeling here on the gold market?
Well, I got lucky on that, probably.
Yeah. Give me that stuff.
But occasionally we do, It's just nice because a lot of times I don't. But
hey,
I think
we got to pay a few bills here. Take about a 3-minute break. Will you be back with us, please?
Go for it.
We'll be right back, folks. Larry Williams.
Are you having fun trading the markets but having trouble finding like-minded individuals to discuss your trading and investment ideas with? Become an apex predator in the trading markets and join the Tiger's Den Trading Room only at TFNN.com. The Tiger's Den is an exclusive trading room where successful traders from around the world come to exchange trades and ideas. Join the den and surround yourself with the sharpest minds in the trading world. Subscribers to the Tiger's Den are also the first to have their questions answered live on air and can privately chat with our TFNN hosts live during their shows. Interact with other Tigers and Tigresses as they share trading ideas, news analysis, and discuss the market action all trading day. Subscribe to the Tiger's Den risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee and become part of the TFNN trading community. TFNN, educating investors.
You could be making money off the stock market. And if you're already making money off the stock market, you could be making a lot more. Check out TFNN and Tiger TV and get expert investing advice to give you the power to control your financial future. Go to TFNN.com and find the newsletter for you. Whether you're into trading gold, metals, futures, currencies, or options, you'll get advice and analysis to help you seriously get ahead. TFNN also features trading services with a 30-day money-back guarantee for new subscribers, as well as TFNN's Tiger Den Trading Room, trading software, and educational webinars for all trading levels. And make sure you check out Tiger TV for free on TFNN.com or TFNN's YouTube channel for live financial content from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern on market days. Stop watching on the sidelines while other people get rich and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
Tom O'Brien has just published his 1000th gold report. It's amazing to think that Tom has been writing his weekly gold report for almost 20 years. To celebrate the 1000th issue of Tom O'Brien's Gold Report, we've just launched a Tiger Dollar sale which runs for 2 weeks only through July 4th weekend. We've doubled all the Tiger Dollar bonuses where you can now get up to a 40% bonus on your purchase. But that's not all. Inflation is here and the price of the gold report is going up after July 4th. Right now you can lock in the gold report at the current pricing of $97 a month for as long as you remain a subscriber. This deal won't come around again. Get your Tiger Dollars today and apply them to the gold report before the price goes up on July 5th. Tiger Dollars never expire and are good for any TFNN newsletter or service as a great way to add savings. Head on over to the front page of TFNN.com for all the details and help us celebrate Tom O'Brien's 1000th Gold Report.
This segment is brought to you by Thinkorswim. For more information, just click the Thinkorswim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Okay, we're back, folks, talking with Larry Williams. And Larry, we have a caller from Montana. Chris, are you on the line?
Yeah, I'm here. Good morning. How's it going, gentlemen?
Go right ahead.
Chris,
Larry's listening.
Good to hear a fellow Montanan on here. What's your question?
Yeah, I'm down in Billings, where it's much warmer than where you're at.
Yes, sir.
Quick question. Early on, you were using the 3-day average of the range for 3 days, and then you multiplied that by 30% in commodities. Right. Are you still using that strategy, or is that kind of outdated?
No, that's really a day trading strategy, kind of channel surf, sell the highs and the lows of that channel. But I've become a much longer-term player. I think that the easy money, the low-hanging fruits, long-term position trading, not very short-term trading. So personally, no. Does it still work? Yeah, but it's a tough business to be trading on a very short-term basis.
Okay. Well, I appreciate that advice. I enjoy reading all your material. And Larry Pesavento, I just love your show. I listen to it every day. So thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Chris.
It's a double whammy. 2 Larrys today. How about that? Huh?
Well, I owe this
Can't
Larry a whole lot. I can tell you that, Chris. I'll tell the story at the end of the show here. Larry,
thank you. Have a great day.
One of the things that I think you did, we'll get back to gold in a second, but your average true range, I think that was one of the most amazing things that I've ever seen in technical analysis. So I wanted to thank you for that, because that really helps to determine, what the true range of the market is. Let's get back to the gold market. We talked before, Larry, about your cycle forecast in gold, and what we're looking at right now is we got gold trading at around 760. What are you looking at here? Do you think we're getting ready for a substantial bottom here in the gold market?
I don't know if it's substantial, but we're certainly at a point where usually gold starts to rally this time of year. Year in and year out, that's a seasonal pattern you can see on the chart. In the chart with the blue line, that's the accumulation again on balanced volume. And there's been big divergence in this market. I was short silver until actually during this conversation a little bit earlier. And I'm going to cover my short in silver because we see the same thing there. There's been good accumulation in this market. Well, we broke the new lows today. We didn't get accumulation distribution, whether you use OBV or other measures of it. And I think that's setting up a buy point. It's real clear. This trend line's coming down here, taking out the highest high the last 4, 5, 6 days. Trend change in this market at a seasonal low. When there's been accumulation, looks to me like it's probably a good place to take a speculative buy point.
Okay, it makes very good sense to me. Now, the next one's going to make everybody very happy, because you're something about the stock market here. Something about a seasonality that you're looking for potential seasonal weakness here. Now, Larry, you're not out there in the cold weather where your mind has gone crazy because everybody's bullish.
Well,
I mean everybody.
On a very short-term basis, you buy stocks in the first trading day of July, coming up real soon, and hold for about 7-8 days. It's been a highly successful seasonal trade. But after that, and you can see that on the red line around the middle of July, we then start to see some weakness. I've seen some things that bother me in the market, and stocks like Apple, Amazon, Google, Microsoft, where there's been no volume in this last rally. So I think we probably have one more shot to try to move up here. Even the E-minis, if you look at the blue line on the chart, that's the distribution. We've made new highs, but we haven't picked up volume on it. So that disturbs me. As a trader, though, I've got to respect the trend, which is up. And I think once this July 4th, if you will, rally, the first part of July rally is over, then we can start to look for a sell-off in the market.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we have a question from one of our listeners from New Jersey, and his question is, what is your influencing, the way you analyze the influence of the Reddit traders and the Robinhood and Friar Tuck group? Do you think there's much of an influence in these markets, or just certain stocks?
Oh, I think it's focused on individual stocks more than the market in general, and that's one reason why, Larry, I'm primarily a commodity trader. I don't have to worry about that. All the news effects, the PR and all this stuff. Commodities are real. People need wheat. They need gold, cattle. So it's a totally different market to trade. So I think it's much easier to trade than these emotionally driven markets.
Wow. Yeah, that's for sure. Boy, they really go crazy. We haven't seen any of this since the dot-com bubble. I remember that one. That I didn't think I'd ever see anything like that again, but that's it. Now, I wanted to continue on here with the E-mini, because you're talking about a distribution that looks really important to me, because I watch open interest, and guys, the open interest is telling us there's something wrong with this last leg of this bull market, but I could be wrong. You want to tell the folks what you're looking at here?
Well, yeah, I mean, what we're looking at in the blue chart that we see is just, again, typical unbalanced volume. And as you make new highs in price, you should make new highs in accumulation, and we're not. And it's not just that measure. If I look at other measures of accumulation that are a little more sophisticated that I've developed over the years, they're showing the same thing here. So this is not a timing tool, but it's a setup tool. And people need to really differentiate and understand that each tool has a different purpose. And so some are for timing, some are for a setup. Currently, we haven't seen much volume coming in here. It bothers me. So if we do get a break or snapback rally, I'll probably want to sell that snapback rally.
Okay, that makes pretty good sense. Now, the next one I think is going to be one of your favorites because that's a Treasury bonds. And oh shucks, just a second here. Larry, my little mouse is having a little difficulty today, but I want to get these bonds up because I remember on the 19th of October in 1987, I was short stocks and I was long bonds, and I got scared of bonds because they were down 0.5 point, and I got out of them. And I remember you were long then, and I said, well, I made a lot of money on the short side of stocks. I'm a little scared, and those bonds went 11 handles without a correction. I still remember that to this day. And I know you made
some of these things we can never forget. How Larry was taking the graveyard record.
Yeah. I remember, and you were commenting on it, and at the time, and I think you were in. Well, I don't remember exactly, but I thought you were in one of the contests, and you blew everybody away with that particular trade, as I recall. But there was another example of the market had so much bearishness to it, with the stocks down 500 points, and when I look back at it, bonds were only down 0.5 point, which was really not very much considering what was happening. And of course, when the Fed came in the next day, away it went to the upside. You want to go ahead and tell us about the bonds?
Yeah, right now I'm long personally bonds myself. I'm on 35 contracts and a little bit lower here. So, I'm bullish. So, my bias in the market. What I think is significant is the momentum of this market has been to the upside. We've had a pullback here the last 5-6 days, and now we've started to break out. If we can get back above yesterday's high, Friday's high, I think that's very bullish in the market. Seasonal pattern is to the upside. There has been some accumulation in this market. So I think, I think there's enough there that I'm still long my position, and I'm pretty happy with it. I'll probably add to my position only for the breakout, in fact, which for me, at 35 contracts, I'll probably take it to 40, 45. That's a pretty good price position for me.
Well, that's pretty good. That's one of the questions someone just asked. Do you start with the base position? Do you add as you go up, or how do you handle them?
Good question. Not often, but I do. If I'm in bonds from way back in around the 16th of June, and so it broke out in my favor. Good. It pulled back. I did buy some on that big smash down day 3 days ago. I bought positions some more there. But usually I'm all in or all out. But in this market, since I do think we're going to go higher here, I've got profits in it. So I'll only add if I have profits. I learned a long time ago, don't add to losses.
Oh no, well. That's a kiss of death, adding to losses. In fact, we both, Larry and I are both good friends with John Hill, and when I first started learning from John in 1970, the first thing he said, the one thing you can't do, he said, is add to a losing position. He said, not only is your analysis wrong, he said, but your money management is really wrong. So you really can't do that. Larry, I don't want to keep you very long, but I've got to share with you my favorite story from you, and that was in 1988. I was up in Pismo Beach, and I called you and asked if I could spend an hour with you. And so I drove down to Rancho Mirage, and I just wrote the book Astro Cycles, The Trader's Viewpoint, and I pulled into the your office there, and your Rolls Royce was there, and the window was down, and the keys were in the car. That we had a brown Rolls Royce, and I took the keys out and I gave them to the secretary. I said he left the keys in the car. She said he always leaves the keys in the car. So when I asked you about it, he said no one ever steals a Rolls Royce. They'll steal a Honda for parts, but they don't steal Rolls Royce. I still remember that. And I have to finish this story is that I really wanted to do the book with Larry And Larry said, no. He said, I can't do that. He said, that'd be stealing from you. He said, this is going to be a good book. You're going to make a lot of money. I said, but I don't know what to do. And you reached around in your cabinet behind and you pulled out about 5, 6 sheets of paper. It's around 3,000 names. And you said, these are people that have bought esoteric stuff from me through the years. I have their addresses. He said, I think they're mostly pretty good. And so I took that and I went back to Pismo Beach and went to the handicap section there. They addressed all the envelopes by hand. And I sent out a flyer, and that got me made a lot of money off that. I sold a lot of books because of that, and I've always thanked you for that. But you're a stand-up guy, my friend. Everybody should really put a statue on.
I appreciate that, Larry. I did the same thing for Wells Wilder. I just had a good friend, Ray Ruggiero. I helped a lot. Just passed away. Yeah. And I've always found that there's some real talented people out there, like you, like Murray, like Wells. And, you know, as a trader, you can make money, but so what? And you made a lot of money, but you don't help anybody. So I really enjoyed helping people's careers.
You've done that in spades, my friend. My goodness. You know, look at us, Larry. We've been doing this. You know, if I could play golf, you know, and I don't like to play golf, but I would rather do this than play golf with Tiger Woods, even if I could play golf. You know, I mean, this is really, it's a fun thing to do. We met wonderful. I mean, make a few flakes along the way, of course, but most of the people we met and we've certainly done that, but you know, we've traveled all over the world. My gosh, I mean, you've been many more places than I have, and yet still been fun. And it's been a fun business to be in, so we've got a lot to be thankful for. Listen, I'm going to let you go, but how about if we have you on in 3 or 4 more weeks? Maybe do another session with us.
Look forward to that. We'll see what's happening in Montana. I've been fishing in Alaska at the end of the month, so let's stay in touch on that, Larry. Okay, thank you very much, Larry. We really appreciate it. Larry Williams, folks. Good trading to everybody. Thank you, Larry. Thank you, Larry. Well, folks, that is Larry Williams, and he's done a great job, you know, through the years educating people. And when I was at Drexel, every time Larry had something that he was getting involved with, whether it was a trading system or statistics, we always bought it. And believe me, it was worth every penny of it. Everything that we've been doing here. It was interesting to hear him talk about the cryptocurrencies. I'm not surprised that he hasn't traded it, because it is a little weird and you got to figure out how to buy that stuff. And I don't know whether we're going to see a collapse of it, whether it's going to go to 500,000 or wherever the people think it's going to go. But that was at least his opinion of the market to see what's going on. Okay. Now what we need to do is let's just take a look at, we just had a very interesting pattern happen, boys and girls. And I did this just as Larry was coming on. I don't know if this happened or not, but as Larry was coming on, I noticed this 3 drive pattern that we just had in the NASDAQ up there at 14,545. Let me see if it kept going up. It still backed off a little bit. Well, it came down a little bit. So anyway, that is a 3 drive pattern, what we're watching here to see whether that's going to be the case or not. All right, now let's move on here. And I wanted to bring to your attention the euro, folks. We've been waiting for this euro to get down to this level, and we're getting very, very close now. We're not very far away. Let me get the chart up. So we've been short this for a while, and I think, let me get the hourly chart up here. There we go. Here, we're almost there. Okay, we see the 382 retracement here. I'm still having trouble with my computer, folks, so I have very little patience with this puppy. But here's what we're looking at here in the euro. We're down near this level here. It needs to hold this level right around 118.80. We're at 118.90 right now, 119.90 right now. And what I'm assuming is that we're probably going to have a little bit of a bounce and then maybe one more push down. And then if we look at this on the long-term daily, we'll just get this up here on the daily. Hopefully I can see this without the computer messing up too badly. Hold on a second here, and I don't know whether it'll work or not, but let's get it up here. Yep, I think it will. Yep, it didn't work. Anyway, the level to look at, folks, we're trading at 118.90. Well, let's call it 119, okay? Now, when we get down to 118.40, that's down, another 100 pips or so. That is going to be really, really important. And the reason for that is this last rally that we just had from the 21st to the 26th,
we had a 382 retracement of that high we made when the Fed came out. That basically sent this thing to the downside. Now, the dollar index is doing just the opposite of this. It's going up, but it's starting to stall a little bit. So we're getting to that real critical level here in the euro that we need to follow it very, very carefully. So the level we're looking at is at 118.20. 118.20. That's 70 pips from where we are right now. So write that down and keep a close eye on it. I'll be sending an email out, of course, God willing, and it'll give us an idea if we can get the 24/7 trade in, because we'll be covering our short there and looking to be going long. And I am working on a special report on the grain market, folks. Tomorrow morning, we're going to have Tim Bost as our guest, but early in the morning, right before the grain report, right after the grain report, Rich Anderson will be on giving us a quick skinny on, what the report said and how the markets are going to react to it. So those are just a few of the things that we have on schedule for tomorrow. And then on Thursday, for heaven's sakes, John Jameson will be on talking to us about cryptocurrencies. And John does know that material pretty well, and he'll be the first to admit when this thing is over. He will be the first to admit it. So those are just a few things that we're paying attention to. If you have any questions, folks, it's 877-927-6648, and I'll be happy to answer any questions if you have any. I hope you enjoyed listening to Larry. He always has some good stuff, and he's incredibly intelligent. I don't know if you know this or not, but he's an expert magician. He could actually make a living as being a magician. He is just really good. It's amazing how well he does. All right, Marshall, how's the weather up there, buddy? Are you still over $100 and some, 110 or something up there in Oregon? What's your temperature today? I saw the other day it was 113 or something up there in Oregon, and that is pretty hot. Of course, it's not affecting the beans too much, but they're rallying just because they've been so oversold through this thing here. Oh, 98. Oh dear, that's not bad. That's what, 10 degrees, 10 to 15 degrees cheaper or lower, so that's even better. Okay, someone's asked a question about Apple. Folks, I don't know where Apple is trading, but I believe that it should have had some really, there's a 78% level retracement in Apple that we've talked about here, and listening to Larry talk about it, and the fact that some of the distribution on these things makes you wonder where they are. Oh dear, this darn thing is just driving me crazy. Shut the front door. We're almost, we made it. I think we made it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. By golly, we did. Yes, we made the 78% retracements. Hang on here, boys and girls. Let's get it. In fact, we're just a tiny bit above it right now. The number was coming in at 136.33. Yep, that's what I'm looking at. And that number came in at 136.18. So we are above it. We have a little tiny 3 drive on a small basis, but we're not very high. We're not very far from the old contract highs now, folks. That's only 39.80. And the way these markets are acting, they can go a long way. But this is what we're looking at in Apple right now. Once we went above 128, folks, that was the green light. Remember, we mentioned once you got above that 382, that was the one that was saying, well, we should make the 61% retracement, and we did that 3 days ago, and now we're hitting the 78% retracement. So it's going up in normal format, and that's all we can look for. And folks, I wish you could see what is happening to my computer. You would have to have a towel and some aspirin next to it, because my charts are jumping around. I have no control over them at all. I'm trying to get this new computer working, but for some reason, it's just not, Dell is not accepting some of the stuff that I use in Ensign, and that is a very, very troublesome thing to look at here. So let's just remind ourselves of that. Okay, any other questions? 877. Oh, Al says Al's on vacation today, but Dylan says that the lines are just jammed up right now. You won't be able to get in. Sorry about that. Maybe tomorrow when we have Tim Bost on, you'll be able to have him listening to that. So. Okay, no other questions, and let me think. I've got a break coming up here, I believe, because we missed the break with Larry. Hold on just 1 second here. And we got a Randy is on the phone with natural gas. Randy, what can we help you with?
Yes, I would just like you to draw what you see natural gas at now. It's just I'm lost.
Well,
so,
Randy,
you give me an outline, it'd be great.
I'm going to do that for Randy just now. So hold on one second, Randy, and we'll get this up here. We might have to go to the break. I'm pretty sure we will, but when we get back from the break, I am going to have natural gas for you, Randy, and it's going to be coming up in just a heartbeat. We'll be right back, folks. 877.
Okay, appreciate it.
You bet.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. For free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
Markets can rise and fall like the tides. Subscribe to Basil Chapman's newsletter, The Opening Call, and you too can ride the wave. Basil Chapman is an authority in technical analysis. His Chapman Wave trading system has been helping traders identify trends and capitalize on momentum in the markets since 1984. TFNN invites you to test Basil's proprietary Chapman Wave trading methodology with a monthly subscription to the Opening Call newsletter for only $149. Your subscription to the Opening Call comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee, as well as daily market updates on key indexes, stocks, and commodities. Ride the wave! Sign up for the Opening Call risk-free today.
Introducing Primal Edge.
Today, it's even more important to take a supplement that complements your health. Primal Edge is specifically formulated to boost your immune system and help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Our early ancestors found all their nutritional requirements in the wild environment. But today, our food sources don't contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients that we need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated humic and fulvic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They've been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, without them, life cannot exist.
That's right, Ellen. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge. Just $89 exclusively at TFNN.com.
Hi, folks. This is Steve Rhodes. Stay tuned for another great hour of The Trader's Edge, heard here at TFNN.com.
Okay, folks, we're going to take a look at natural gas for Mr. Randy over there in California. Randy, if you look at this chart really closely, you can see that we have a 3-drive pattern that is going to be completing up here at a 1.618 expansion. That's that final blue line that you see up there. That's about another 5 cents, it looks like, in the natural gas. So pay very, very close attention to that. This has been bullish for quite some time. We've had nothing but higher bottoms all along the way. And this is the area that we're looking for. It should have some resistance at that point. Randy, I don't have a chance to do the weekly on this, but if you do the weekly, you'll see that that weekly comes in exactly at the 61% retracement, somewhere around the 360 area, I believe, in the natural gas. I'm doing this from memory because my computer won't pull up the chart right now. But what I'll try to do, I'll send it out tonight because I know you belong to the 24/7 family, and I'll send out that natural gas on the weekly because we're getting very, very close to some very significant resistance here in this natural gas, just looking at the daily, and then I'll send the weekly out to you as well, so you'll be able to see it. So let's keep that in mind. Remember, folks, tomorrow we have Tim Boss as our guest. We'll also have Rich Anderson on. There's a big grain report due again, and we're having volatility in the grains. It's just unbelievable, the volatility we're having there, which is fantastic for short-term trading, which we enjoy. But then we'll also have Tim for his regular show, and then on Thursday we'll have John Jameson. I will be with you here on Friday. The services that I was going to go to in California have been delayed because some people can't travel. So they're going to do the services for Mr. Leroy Linhart sometime later this summer, which is something that I have to go. I owe Leroy a lot. Not as much as I owed Larry Williams, but yeah, probably I do too, because Leroy got me involved in some really good coins back with the old days of the Redfield correction. Hey, let's see you tomorrow, boys and girls. Live every day in an attitude of gratitude, and may God bless.
Building wealth trading in the stock market seems impossible